Hey everyone, it's Timid. I'm back with another episode of Road to 1.2K. Today's episode is going to be this Tier 4 High Funds match on the map Icebound versus Mr. Everybody Wise VN, I guess? Oh. Man, okay, what did his league score tank? Oh, okay. Um, well, that's unfortunate. Uh, anyways, he did get a decent peak, so his peak is 1135, which is, I think that's around where my peak is. Let me double check. No, I was under the impression he still had decent, yeah, he still had decent league score. Okay, that's unfortunate. I forget where it was after this, but yeah, he did a decent job here at least. Does he only play high funds or? No, it's just overall. Okay. Anyways, yeah, this is on the very freaking tall map Icebound. Apparently it's like an S rank map. S rank high funds map. So I mean, the thing that's fun about it, I guess, is you have these little ports, this little port, this little inland sea area here in the center with these ports, so you can do a little bit of substrats of battleship strats, and the airports are pretty close, so you do have like a counter to battleships and stuff like that. Air units are like solid on this map because they can just dart around everywhere. There are lots of rivers. There's that sea area in the center here, so overall, I think this is like an interesting map at least. Kind of wish it weren't so tall because it's gonna be a pain to look at. Well, I mean, to be fair, at 2 times, at double zoom, it still fits on the screen, I guess, but kind of wish it were maybe a little bit less tall, but whatever. You've got your 2 bases here, your 2 bases here, and then you got the small base over here. So this is sort of, kind of, maybe, possibly, sort of mixed base. Not really. It's more of like the penguins have this like L shape of a map, and then the stormtroopers have this like L shape of a map. So L is all around on this map, I guess. So an interesting sort of front shape, I would say, at least. Getting to the airports early is going to be important, which I may or may not have remembered to do. This is a single comm tower map, so overall not that difficult to get around with. And yeah, it's tier 4 as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and look at like the CO tiers first, because I'm still not exactly completely used to the new high funds tier list. If I go to create game, can I get grid on here actually? No, he's banned. Okay, they do have the new tier lists. Okay, yeah, they have a new tier list for this map, so that's decent. Even though it's a 4-year old like map, but it's in global league, so at least they're starting to update them for the tiers, I guess now. That being said, so we're gonna see, because like just grit things, you know, in high funds, because the meta I think only sort of recently came about where grit's still really good in high funds. Well, as good as tier 2 at least, because you can use fighters and stuff effectively, so it's not the end of the world to be playing grit against all the air units, even with his like artillery spam and everything. But yeah, I'm getting a bit off topic. So tier 4 high funds, there's a lot of people here. What's funny is the Luxios are a bit higher because when you're dealing with higher value units, luck damage becomes a little bit more important. But so actually everyone in tier 4 is allowed. So Adder, Grim, Jake, Jess, Cole, Lash, Sammy, and Sonia. In high funds, I would say Sonia is complete trash because she doesn't have the damage output to do anything, basically. And her opponents can afford the more expensive and specialized units, so her counter break is completely useless too. Sammy's at 52% actually on this map, so not bad. Is it Rachel's tier 3, right? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Flash is at 44, Cole's at 53. I think Adder and Cole are always going to be a good pick in high funds because the extra movement does come into play pretty handily, especially in like tier 4 type matches. So that's good. Jess is down at 35 actually. And the reason for that is this is a bit of a larger map, so the infantry stuff is going to actually come into play a little bit more. And, well, she also has crappy air units too, so she's not like the best in high funds because of that. Jake's only at 43. But to be fair, there is a good amount of planes on this map. There's a good amount of areas where he can use his vehicles effectively. His artillery, I guess, is okay because you can choke these points sort of effectively. And artillery is always pretty good in high funds because it's decent for dealing with. It's a decently cheap way to be able to deal with higher value tanks on the board. And then Sammy is going to be useful here because all you have to do is grab the lab, basically. So if you can get a cheeky victory rush, you win. Well, victory march, you win. Which I think ended up being my strat for this. But yeah. Looks like there's a pretty significant first turn advantage here as well. So I think that's everything I really wanted to mention. Oh yeah, there's this port in the corner here. I guess I can make black boats, but that's about it. And there's not really much use for it black boat wise, because well, I mean, you can ferry infantry from this base maybe, I guess, but you can't just march mechs out onto this tile. So, and you sort of want to spread out your infantry into this area anyways, so I'm not sure why you would bother with that. Maybe a lander could be okay. Possibly. I don't know. Because you can use a lander sort of effectively in this area. There are like a good amount of like shoals to land on. It's just how much you want to invest, right? Because a lander is pretty expensive. It's like a tank and a half, so that money does start to add up a bit. But I think that's about it for everything I wanted to say about the map and like the stuff before everything. So let's go ahead and get started with the replay. Maybe a bit too early there for my music, but whatever. Everything looks fine, right? Yep, everything looks fine. So starting out here, doing pretty decently. He's, well, starting out, I sort of think that you want to go for this city into this city rather than going for the comm tower right away, because it's going to be forever before, yeah, as you can see, he's going for that. Yeah, but it's going to be forever before you're actually able to afford something to, well, before you're actually going to be seeing combat, so the comm tower doesn't matter, like, right away, obviously. He's going for a very early recon here, actually being pretty aggressive here. Which, when you're playing against Sammy, recons are a good move, a very good move. Especially like, well, I guess Jake recons, let's see. On planes, they can do, yeah, they can just basically interrupt Sammy caps, in theory. 3. I forget if 3 health is enough for Sammy to cap or not. Oh well. But yeah, I'm going for a tank here to counter the recon make sure that that's taken care of like right away. I just don't want to deal with it, basically. So far, we're not really building much. It's kind of too early to do stuff like that. So I'm getting another tank out to deal with his tank here. Yeah. Build order wise, well, here's the other thing. That recon, what I forgot to do was send an infantry down here to get this airport, which is going to bite me in the ass in a second here. Like, significantly. And as you can see here, there's Sammy's firepower coming in clutch here, being not even that good against this recon. I only took like half the recon out there. It was unfortunate. I honestly should just stayed back here. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, because he'd have to attack from this road either way, so I should have just stayed back here. Maybe even put the tank on the forest there. Let him come to me. But instead of doing that, I'm moving in like this kind of way too aggressively, actually. Now that I look at it again, so. And the other thing is I didn't get this airport, which is going to be very unfortunate for me. What it is going to do is it's going to allow me to have a little bit more money to play around with maybe, but yeah, as you can see, there goes half my tank. Already, so. And I'm investing maybe a bit too much with these tanks as well here. So, yes, overall, really bad play on my part here, actually, now that I look at it again. I went for a black boat here because, well, partially just to get the infantry into this area, get them spread out a bit. And I got an anti-air here, ready to start moving over this way to deal with his air units. Unfortunately, my infantry are like forever away from this airport, so that's something I definitely should have prioritized earlier on. Because it is high funds. That's the other thing about high funds is the airport's sort of out of the way in a lot of these maps. So I really need to start remembering to take care of that and get the airport pretty aggressively, because the airport is very, very important here. Like if I had the airport here, I'd be able to build some battlecopters, start spamming them out this way, and dealing with these tanks would be a lot easier. But since I haven't gotten that, I'm sort of out of luck, right? He's built a medium tank, so I built a neo tank to sort of try to deal with it. The only thing that's unfortunate about that is that there's not much of an area. It's kind of going to be difficult for me to maneuver this guy around, because I don't have a lander, I just have a black boat. So he's sort of stuck up here with the battlecopter. Yeah, as you can see, he's kind of pummeling me in this area because of that. Getting a good shot off there with the tanks. Denying me my city as well there with his tank, so keeping that defensive terrain there pretty good, especially considering all that I have in this area is like the one tank plus like 3 injured ones. So very good for him, and then he's also able to bomber to deal with my neo tank, and also the anti-air too to some extent, because the bomber can deal with the anti-air too, like a little bit as well. So very good build order for my opponent here. I don't know what I was thinking this match at all. Medium tank here is fine, because if he goes in with the tank here, I can just get a good shot off of my medium tank. So this medium tank finally here is going to be good to deal with this tank spam in this south here at least. So I'm finally figuring out how to deal with that. Should have gotten it a lot earlier though, honestly. But whatever. Yeah, there goes my tank. As you can see, sort of just starting to get overwhelmed in the south here. And it's all because, I think it's mainly because I overextended over here and went for those opening shots with the tank here. And that was really, really bad. I should have just let his recon come to me, because the recon isn't going to interrupt our cap from the infantry there. It's like never going to be able to do that. So yeah, I go for the cap here. I've got I'm guarding with my infantry as well, but he does have a good number of like units in this area to try and interrupt me, so that's unfortunate. Is he going to be able to interrupt? We will see. We will see. So he goes for an attack into the tank with the recon, actually, which is... I don't know why he did that. Seems like a dumb move. Yeah, then he takes out the infantry there by weakening it with his... This is a good way to do this as well, right? He opens with the basically useless 5 health infantry there, right? And that's so that he can get good damage off with his other weakened units and come in for a kill like that. So that's pretty good. I would have maybe attacked with this one first because this one was already weakened, so this plus this is a pretty good kill, but kind of just nitpicking at that point. And yeah, at this point he's got 2 bombers. I'm starting to anti-air spam a little bit here, but yeah. And at this point I'm just desperately trying to get this airport, and I've got it finally, so now I can get some air units moving in here in a second. Freaking finally. So, yeah, I think I leave the infantry there just to wall off this area so that he can't block off my airport next turn. But yeah, as you can see, I'm severely behind in unit count because I don't have the airport. So, be able to move in like that. Take out those 2 infantry, well, those 2 weakened units, and then take out the tank basically as well. Pretty good shot there. Not even, like, he would have killed if he had the planes boost, but pretty close, pretty close. And at this point, we both got, like, I've got the victory march ready. He's got his rock ready, and I'm sort of just trying to zone out his vehicles as best as I can, because all that Jake does get is the vehicle movement from that, and I just get the infantry movement. So we're sort of squared off in a weird way here, where we can't really just pop our powers and move in with everything. That's why Adder and Cole are so nice, is they have that universal movement boost, so they can just move in with all of our units, and high funds, that's a really useful thing to be able to do. Not useful enough to get them up to tier 3, but anyways, I popped my little power here. Double time, I think I popped specifically because to make sure that this kills, and it's actually only even a chance that it kills too. But like, there's no shot without that. So, and then I just move in like this like crazy with as many of my units as I can, mainly using the double time for the extra defense firepower here, but still getting a good amount of use out of my infantry anyways. Moving in like that pretty easily there, just to block off my units a little bit as well. And then I'm walling up over here a bit, and then I've also got the battleship here to try and ward away his medium tank. So, and also actually just the infantry. The main reason was he's getting pretty close to my lab here, so if he moves in with the infantry, he could pretty easily just capture it. So that's why I went for the battleship there. So yeah, this is a map where I actually did end up building some naval units here. But yeah, he's moving in like crazy here. Actually loses his tank on the counterattack there, which is kind of funny. But yeah, he's just going to start swarming me at this point, so taking advantage of my lowered unit count. And, well, bet I'm not in the right places anymore. But yeah, I'm going to be moving in with this fighter now to take out his upper bomber, at least, decently within a good amount of time. And then, rather than interrupting this cap and then going for the interrupt with well, I should have just interrupted here and then got a good amount of damage there off, baby. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna go for the missiles here as well to guard my battleship from the bomber. If he goes for it, he can't. I mean, he could, but he's not gonna get he's not gonna get his planes boost from it. So I'm gonna probably keep my battleship, and then I'll just kill it with my missiles on retaliation. So that's fine. And because it's high funds, I sort of need the money anyways to be able to build like more air units, maybe even some boats in this area. So yeah, and then I go for another battleship here. And that's sort of decent at warding away a lot of his units in this area. I can start taking pot shots here, basically. So, Sammy battleships are actually pretty decent in this map. Fortunately, I didn't have this Neo-Tank in range of my anti-airs. Not that it would matter because he'd be able to just block with his other units. So, but there goes my Neo-Tank. There goes my black boat as well. He's basically just guarding his stuff here at this point. And he's going for the sub as well to sort of deal with this guy. So in response, I go for the cruiser because I need it to deal with the sub mainly. But it's also sort of warding away his battlecopters a little bit, like marginally. I go for a second double time, get some good shots off here, like completely eviscerate his infantry there. And like at this point, I'm feeling pretty confident because like now that I have my airport, I can start sort of building up and pushing back at least a little bit. He puts his sub in the water there, and yeah, he's moving in here with his units in the south, unfortunately, but whatever. Not like the end of the world, honestly. He's got his bomber here. I've mainly got like this guy here to ward away the bomber. I'm going to be moving it back and forth to try and keep it out of range. And then I move in like this with the battleship so I can see his sub and then take a good shot at it with my cruiser. So overall, like this is still a decent push for me. So I've got infantry theoretically in range it is allowed next turn. 2 infantry. Of course, I don't have like the muscle to really support a push next turn. Like you can easily guard against that, but it's at least sort of theoretically a good thing. And yeah, like it's not like that bad. And we're about to get back to about par in a second here. Well, he's gonna flip this. But as far like overall, he's in the lead, but he's not like that far in the lead. And he's popping his superpower here as well. Which at this point I was like, thank you. Because I really did not like him having that in reserve there. So him finally just popping it there makes me go, okay, this is fine. I can move in next turn. He's moving in with his bomber here even, so that's fine. Moving in like that with the battlecopters against my cruisers. I freaking swear, why are cruisers so freaking weak to battlecopters, dude? Anyways, that's its own friggin' thing. I got a bomber here to sort of try and deal with the Neo-Tanks. I pop my power here, get another double time off, start pushing in here. Sort of like a last-ditch effort, take out that guy and then... Oh. Wait a second. I just trapped myself with my fighter here, and that's GG. Oh. I was having a good time on this map too, but... Yeah, I needed this bomber dead that turn. I would have been able to basically neuter it with the fighter that turn. It's just so unfortunate that I forgot about the sub. So I think I was trying to move it around some way or another so that... I don't even know why I moved it around like that. I should have just done it like that. Oh, I think I was trying to use it to scout the sub maybe? No. I don't even know at this point. But yeah, that was it. That pushed me over the edge. To be fair, I am down like 20k and 12 unit count. So like I'm not really kind of thinking I would be winning anyways because I'm down 6k income. But like you never know. It's Sammy. She can always pull off a cheeky victory march, so you got to keep on trying, right? But at this point, it was obviously GG. My Neo tank's down as well at this point. Like looking at the map positioning here, I just don't have the unit count. And I think just looking back at this match, like it just comes down to where we sent our infantry, right? Because he actually sent someone to grab the airport and I didn't. I completely ignored the airport. So that by itself, I think, won him the match, was me forgetting to get the airport. This black boat here, I think I built it because I realized I didn't have the airport and I had to spend my money on something. The black boat actually ended up doing a good amount of work. I think a lander could have maybe done some work here as well, because a lander would connect these two fronts really nicely. It would allow me to use the capacity from this base, bring it down slightly here, and then reinforce here for like a good push this way. But yeah. Lesson of this match is always prioritize your airport in high funds. Because on a lot of maps, it's kind of far away from your regular production areas. Like this is 3 turns of march down to this way. So it's very important to make sure that you're on top of that, especially in high funds, because air units are very, very important in high funds. Oh, the other thing is I ever extended over here. I should not have gone into this. I just sent my tanks into the forest and died, basically, for whatever reason. For basically no reason. Yeah, I should have just let them come in this way. Yeah. Because the recon wouldn't be able to interrupt me going for the airport by itself. So I just sent it down there, there, there. We would have been fine. There. 1, 2. Well, let's realign this actually. Let's roll this back. So you guys have a recon. I go this way, but I could have gone that way, so I would have been 2 turns away. Recon's there, so I would have been there. Recon's there. I could have started capping this turn, I think. And then, yeah, it would have been too late for him to move a recon in. So, yeah, that's why the early recon here isn't like the greatest, but it ended up working for him because I was playing really retardedly in this match. So, yeah, messed up the opening. What do you know? What can you do about it? Other than actually go for the airport. But yeah. So that's it for today's episode. I can take a look at where we are in the playlist, because there was one that I ended up not getting. Yeah, I didn't end up saving this replay because it's 7 days. So next week's going to be this one on Chosen, 19 days, Hawk Mirror. It's a fog map, so that should be a pretty interesting match. If you enjoy it, I guess go ahead and like and subscribe and all that other nonsense, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.